Hey everybody, welcome to another War Machine Battle Report. I'm Light 'em Up. I got a battle here between my Skorne and my buddy's Khador. I had a request on Facebook. I put a poll up there and I got Hexeris 2 was what everyone wanted to see, or what most people wanted to see. So I got a Hexeris 2 game here for you guys. I put together a list. I actually put together two lists, tried out both of them. This is the one I was able to get a video of, and I played it a couple times so far. I'm really liking it. My buddy here, he won the role to go first, and he's playing Vlad 1, the Great Prince, Vladimir Tzepesci. And I was okay with going second because I was able to choose the side. I'm not sure I chose the correct side, but it works for what we're going on here. The main reason I was okay with going second was he's got a lot of AD, so if you're going to be playing against a lot of gun lines, or a lot of Khador gun lines, a lot of their guys AD. You got the Widowmakers, the Marksmen, Alten Ashley, Eiryss, a bunch of those guys. Well, Hexeris 2 can channel through any of his beasts, and I put a Razor Worm in my list. Razor Worms have advanced deploy and long leash, which is essentially extended control range. So I can arc through him up to 24 inches away from me, which is fantastic because he can run 12 inches from the 6-inch line in front of me, and that means 18 inches up. And then I can arc 8 inches deep into that, which puts me about an inch or so, give or take, into his advanced deploy line. But if I go second, that means he moves all of his juicy pieces up into range of me being able to run my arc node or my channeler up. And you see right now he's moving those Winterguard, and you see Joe with his two arms raised in the middle of the board. Joe is within, barely within range of a Hellfire. Not quite within range of Ashes to Ashes, which is what I would have preferred, but that's okay. The main thing that I wanted to do, you see me measuring right there, the main thing I wanted to do is I'm probably going to pop my feet first turn. Now the 3 games I've played so far with this list, I've popped my feet for either bottom of 1 or top of 2, just because his feet is kind of okay, but if you can get an early couple arc nodes off of it and wipe out important solos with the spells, it works out significantly better. So here you see the Razor Worm ran, the Gladiator put Rush up onto the Cannoneer and then trampled forward, and then the Cannoneer walked up 6 inches, took a gunshot, and ended up killing 2 riflemen, or rifle corps, which was good for me, just a little cherry on top. All I'm really doing is I'm running my beasts and getting Fury on the board so that when I pop my feet, I can go ahead and go back to full Fury and get either 3 Ashes to Ashes, or what I actually end up doing is 2 Ashes to Ashes and a boosted Hellfire, because Grigorovich, old Winterguard Joe, ended up being just outside of the 8 inches, but within 10 inches of my Razor Worm. So you see right now Hexeris is going, and he pops a Hellfire into Joe and hits him, and thanks to Hellfire not allowing for tough rolls anymore, which is fantastic, Joe dies. And then I do a Ashes to Ashes onto the Widowmakers and kill 2 of them because I got D3 and only got a 1. And then I'll do another Ashes to Ashes and I'll hit Eiryss and take out Alten also, boosting both damage rolls. One thing I didn't mention is I went ahead and gave Hexeris the Eyeless Sight for my Extoller, so that him and my Channeler both had Eyeless Sight, so I don't have to worry about line of sight issues or anything like that. Although Eyeless Sight doesn't ignore Force anymore, still allows me to ignore the concealment bonus, which was nice, so I only needed like a 7 or 6 or something like that to hit Eiryss. I think I needed 9 to hit Eiryss, but either way, boosted 9's hit. So, other than that, you see the Ferox run up. One of them is off the screen, apologize for that, but couldn't get the camera quite wide enough. So on to his turn here. So he's going to spend a few minutes here deciding whether or not he wants to wind wall, or if he's just going to cast Signs of Importance. If you're playing a Vlad player, just know he's always going to cast Signs of Importance. That's just going to happen. But he was not expecting my feat to happen. I think it was a pretty good use of my feat. I was able to kill Alten Ashley, which is a big deal, especially against hordes. Kill Eiryss 2, kill Joe, and kill 2 Widowmakers. So not a bad use of the feat. It totals up to about 19 points of his army off the board. Not a bad trade. He did take out my Razor Worm with Behemoth there. That's not a huge deal. I mean, basically the Razor Worm was just... I put him in my list specifically to be a round 1 or 2 channel bot, and that's it. If he survives another round or takes a guy out by removing him from play with his drag below, then cool, but not a big deal for me. Not what he's in the list for. So at the top you see his rifle corps are going to move up and they're going to start plinking away and shooting down some of my Keltarii. I'm not really concerned about that. The Keltarii are pretty much in the list to die. This list here against a list like my buddy's Khador, where he really is packing heavy armor. I mean, 2 Jugs and Behemoth is pretty heavy armor mixed with his gun line. My list is designed to be able to take on some gun lines because the Keltarii are defense 15. If I need them to be, I can put Ash and Veil on them or Cloak of Ash and make them defense 17, which is a lot better. Against Signs of Portents, though, that's not going to do much, so I saved my Fury and didn't put that on there. And then the Ferox have dodge, so if people miss them with anything, they get to move as long as they're within 10 inches of Rhadeim. So the problem is I don't have a lot of punch in my list, and Vlad can send his guys pretty far on his feet turn because he can double the base speed, which is pretty good. Anyone who used to play the old Cray knows that doubling base speed is really awesome. Other than that, so because my list is kind of designed more to take on infantry or true gun lines, it's not really designed to take on heavy armor. I've only got the Gladiator in there for armor cracking. Sentries aren't going to armor crack very much, and not Sentries. Cannoneers aren't going to armor crack very much. You'll see my Cannoneer is being proxied by a Sentry, so if I mess up, that's what I mean. And he out-threatens me by a few inches, which is pretty big. The only threat extender I have is the Gladiator, so it's really going to be coming down to a game of positioning on this game and angling to see if I can get an assassination off onto Vlad. But right now my Keltarii are going and they're getting charge orders. The ones that can. The ones that can't are just running to engage. They're going to go ahead and kill a couple Winterguard and then reposition in to tie up some more of them. Having parry and reform on Keltarii. Now they can only reform if they made a successful charge or if they just walked. They can't reform if they ran or failed to charge. But having parry and reform on them makes them premier jam unit, I think. It's pretty clutch when it comes down to it. So that little wiggle you just saw me do with my 6-inch widget, that was me measuring to see if Hexeris could get into the zone. He could not. It was just barely out. So instead you see me put him there outside of line of sight of Behemoth. Basically, I don't want Behemoth to be able to charge me and just take me off the board with no effort. And then now you got the Ferox that are moving, and they're going to walk and jump to get into position. And then take some swings. One of them kills Harlan Versh at the bottom, and then the other 3 that are still alive are going to do some waterfall attacks into the bottom Juggernaut. And that's going to actually do a significant amount of damage, more damage than I thought it was going to do. It's going to leave him with 18 boxes. Not bad. I think he starts with 34 or 36 boxes. I think he starts with 34 boxes. And you see Rhadeim is going to charge in. And he's going to do his special attack or star attack armor pierce, and at dice plus 2 end up doing 12 points of damage, which is great. I mean, I left a Juggernaut from full health to 6 health with 3 Ferox and Rhadeim. Unfortunately, the 6 boxes he has left is his Cortex and his big axe, which doesn't help me out too much. If I had taken out those 2 items, then he pretty much would have been useless. Instead, those things are still around, and yeah, Rhadeim's probably dead next turn. So other than that, my Brute ran up to get behind the wall, and then that's pretty much it. So on to his turn 3. He takes a few minutes here. He's going to try to decide whether or not he should go for the scenario play and move Vlad into his zone, take out my objective, and attempt to control my zone. He probably could get to 3 points this turn. It would take a lot of work. I'm not sure he could get all of it done. He could definitely get at least 1 control point just by killing my objective. Or if he should just go for an assassination. I think he doles out enough focus so that it makes it seem like he's going to go for the scenario play. Not a bad move. I am camping 7, so him assassinating me would be rather difficult with 3 fully healthy beasts still on the board. Although I don't know, he may have been able to, or at least leave me with almost nothing left anyway. But instead, Vlad's going to go ahead and cast Signs Importance, puts a few focus onto his couple of his jacks, and then he's going to be camping nothing and popping his feet. So his jacks all have double speed. You'll see the one Juggernaut there actually missed my Ferox, and the Ferox was able to dodge out of the way. And then Behemoth came up and dismounted Rhadeim. And later on, you'll see us remove Rhadeim's dismount because we realized that Behemoth did hit him. We thought he missed him on the second swing, but he did hit him. He needed a 6 to hit, and we thought he needed a 7. So we'll correct that here in a second. Right now, there goes the Rhadeim. So, other than that, I've got 2 kitty cats left. The third one was removed by a Winterguard Rocketeer. The rest of the Winterguard are going and removing a few of my Keltarii. They're going to leave them with just 3 Keltarii left over, the leader and 2 grunts. And then his Juggernaut is just going to go ahead and... one of his Rocketeers shot my objective, did no damage to it. And then his Widowmaker Marksmen is sitting there in the forest. That's the Widowmaker solo. He's going to take a shot and fail to kill my cat that's at the edge of the zone. And then his Juggernaut's going to walk up to my Gladiator. It's got 3 focus on it. It didn't have to charge, so it's got all 3 focus. It's got 5 attacks. Its first swing, he gets a crit stationary, and then he just auto hits from then on at straight dice with his axe, and actually ends up killing my Gladiator with an additional focus to save. So he killed him pretty easily. Had some pretty fire dice, but then again, I've had some pretty fire dice on my side of the board too. Happens. Other than that, not a whole lot else left. So back onto my turn, and I'm trying to decide how I'm going to get this done. I am running out of pieces. I know that. I don't have anything that can crack his armor, really. If Rhadeim was still around, maybe I still would have tried to go for the attrition battle, because he has that armor piercing attack, but I still don't think I would have been able to kill Behemoth ever. So instead, I'm going to try to do an Arc Node / Cannoneer assassination. You'll see the Brute ran up there, and he got within, he got close enough to be able to be an Arc Node for me, and not have to worry about, I don't know why I moved him so close, but I moved him that close. Fortunately, I moved him just far enough away from the forest to have a sliver of line of sight for my Cannoneer to take a shot at Vlad. The cannon shot missed, but deviated less than 2 inches, and ended up still clipping Vlad, doing dice -8, boosted damage, and I did 1 point of damage. So Vlad's still sitting on 16 health. Hexeris goes, and he's going to go ahead and arc a Hellfire into Vlad at dice off 2. He hits boost damage because I boosted to hit, and then I went ahead and boosted damage. I don't know if I should have boosted damage or if I should have cast another Hellfire, but either way, ended up doing 6 points of damage. So now he's got 11 hit points left. So I'm going to go ahead and slow the video down a little bit here. So he's got 11 hit points left. The cat jumped into his back arc, so he's MAC 8. Needs a 7 to hit Vladimir in the back arc. Go ahead and roll the 8, and then I'm at dice off 4 for damage, and end up rolling a 15 with a 4, 5, and 6 right there. So that was highly unexpected, and I'm very thankful. I needed 11 damage to kill him. I got exactly 11 damage. So anyone who ever doubts that that 1 hit point that you do on some random attack was useless, just watch this video. Yeah, because that Gladiator, or sorry, that Cannoneer shot that did 1 point of damage on blast damage gave me the Skorne victory. So victory to Hexeris. I want to thank everyone for watching. I think this game was awesome. Not really the kind of list, like I said, not the list I was hoping to play Hexeris into, but that's a good thing, actually. I like playing into things that I'm not really sure the list can handle, because it really shows you the weaknesses and makes you think about different things that the list can do. I think if you only play a list into the things that you want that list to play into, you're never going to find out exactly what that list can handle. So if you go to a tournament, and I like going to tournaments, you go to a tournament and you end up, not seeing a list that, say you bring a list that can only deal with X, Y, and Z, and you never see X, Y, or Z the whole tournament, well, you got to play that list eventually at some point. Hopefully you know how to play it against, list W, or list K. I'm taking this metaphor way too far. Alright, so, thanks for watching, guys. Love playing Skorne. I played like 5 games last week with them. I'm going to play some more games with them this week. And I'll get another Skorne video up soon. And then I had a request for a Striker 2 video, so most likely Battle Report 7 is going to be a Striker 2 video, if I can get some games in with them. And please like, comment, and subscribe. If you got any suggestions, please comment them in the doobly-doo below. Thank you. Have a great day, guys.